The following contains audio from a 911 call during the Paradise, Colorado wildfire. Listeners may be sensitive to the following content.
Okay. And it's in your backyard. How big is it?
It's just getting big by the second. It's like my whole backyard's smoking. It's coming up to my house. Okay.
We'll do what we can. Thanks for the call. Thank you.
Did anyone come on Penn Road right now and come to my house to stop it?
Ma'am, we have engines coming from everywhere, okay?
Okay.
Thank you.
I'm on Penn Road.
In a moment like that, wouldn't you feel better evacuating your family and leaving your home knowing that you had taken every possible action to protect your house and belongings? This is an image taken following the 1970 fire in California. The screen shows one house standing alone in what once was an affluent Laguna neighborhood. Aware of the risk associated with their home, the family took action and applied mitigation, which is the only reason their home still stands today. This family had both the means and the awareness to take action. However, this combination is uncommon. As a nation, we have grown increasingly dependent on federal aid, and with the increased frequency of natural disasters, we need to come together to find an alternative solution. We are putting FEMA out of business with Brandon, Eric, and Madison, and we are here to tell you about the solution we created to help build a more resilient nation and reduce the reliance on FEMA. This project is a collaboration with FEMA Region 8. The original challenge statement provided by FEMA was that FEMA needs to properly incentivize and reward states, tribes, territories, and local governments, as well as certain nonprofits, to take proactive steps to protect assets through insurance or other means in order to lower their reliance on federal funds as the first recourse for disaster recovery. To create a workable solution to this massive, broad challenge, the team worked hard to isolate the problem's core objectives and to redefine the problem. In redefining our problem and scope, the team decided to select a peril of focus, and due to the projected influx in frequency and damage, we chose wildfire as our focus. So here's our problem. Communities in medium to high-risk wildfire zones need to have proper understanding of their risk and of the strategies to mitigate against potential losses, thus increasing the resiliency of the community. How can we increase the awareness and education on an individual level, especially within communities of high risk? Furthermore, how can we help FEMA effectively build a campaign with lasting impacts that identifies the individuals most likely to take action and that can be scaled to other disasters in geographical areas?
As we narrowed down our problem, we wanted to identify the population who are at risk for disaster and the most reliant on FEMA for federal support. The combination of high wildfire risk paired with high social vulnerability is an indicating factor for future reliance on FEMA in the case of a wildfire. In order to have the greatest impact, we need to address the people who are the most willing to mitigate their risk. As seen in the Laguna neighborhood, it is likely that all the houses had the means to mitigate, but the only one left standing had the willingness to invest in mitigation. Because of this event, the entire neighborhood rebuilt their homes with similar wildfire mitigation. Thus, we aim to reduce reliance on FEMA by finding and targeting the early adopters of mitigation technology who will go on to influence their neighbors to do the same in the future. Shown in this map, we have identified communities in Jefferson County who fit the characteristic of high risk. To further specify our audience, we identified the people with personality traits such as high openness and low neuroticism who will be the most likely to take action steps towards protecting their home, such as increasing defensible space around the home or building with wildfire-resistant materials.
To best utilize social media as a medium for advertising, we opted to use the Facebook Pixel, which is a tool that allows a Facebook business account to send advertisements to a customized audience. In order to find the audiences that would be most likely to respond well to an advertisement by FEMA, we developed an algorithm to analyze selected communities. From this, we can derive a psychometric representation of a community to determine ahead of time if they would likely engage with an advertisement. Once we have identified a set of promising communities, we begin to distribute advertisement content to these audiences. To best monitor engagement, we coded a bot that autonomously collects performance data for each of the ad's audiences.
To test our solution, we listed an advertisement on Facebook to be sent to multiple promising communities. We were able to collect data from thousands of interactions with users. With our first iteration, we saved about 11.3% by targeting users based on their psychometric composition. It is expected that this will further increase with future iterations. The data that the Facebook bot produces is visualized to allow for easy interpretation of ad performance. A combination of statistics is used to represent the performance of all ads in a set, which can be used strategically to select which ads should be allocated additional funding and which should be funded less in the future.
In future work on this project, there's an opportunity to continue building a web application for analysis on multiple social media platforms. The application can provide FEMA with the analysis necessary for adjusting audience selection and advertisement content. By continuing to engage with marketing, insurance, wildfire, and other disaster experts, communities can become better prepared and losses can be minimized when disaster strikes. There's additional potential to scale this solution to other disasters such as flooding and earthquakes. We would like to thank the InnovateX team, our sponsors, and the experts we've consulted throughout this project. Thank you for your attention. If you have any questions, feel free to ask.